Hello, everyone, and welcome to Spiritually Addicted. Today, we are going to talk about conquering fear in your addiction, as well as some other areas of your life that you can improve upon as you continue to go down your own journey, because God will always put you in the right place and give you what you need to continue on your soul's path or on your own path along your addiction journey. So, the first thing I want to talk about is fear, because that's something that comes up in all of our lives. We are fed it in society. We are fed it on TV, in the news, through social media, with your family, with your friends. Fear holds us back from what we can be, what our full potential can be. When you are most fearful is when you are on the brink of something big, because fear will try and hold you back. And when you start to conquer the fear of whatever it may be, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're going through, if you start to conquer those fears slowly, you learn that it's just an illusion. It's just you making up some scenario in your head. I'm going to give you an example. For me, starting this podcast, the fear was, will it be successful? Will I ever get anybody to watch these episodes? Will I ever find out more information about myself? What am I doing? How do I do these computer techniques to go ahead and get it off the ground? How do I find out how to make clips? How do I? All these things were just made up. Now I'm here. Another fear for me going through it was through my addiction. I was afraid to admit to myself, to others, really to anyone for a long time that I even had an addiction. But what I started to learn about that is God gives you lessons throughout your life. And as you're going through your lesson plan, you can call it, because school of the earth is just a school for our soul, is that you start to understand that the quicker you learn the lesson, the faster the lesson is taken from you and something new comes. And it happens all the time. What I'd like you to do when you have some time later on today, go journal, go write something and think of a scenario in your life where maybe fear has held you back, or something in your addiction journey has held you back, or made you continue to be addicted to whatever substance you're on, or alcohol, whatever it may be. And then when you found that, when you look back on it now, it was actually a blessing in disguise, because that's what a lot of addiction is that a lot of us don't understand. It is a fear based pattern that we continue to put ourselves down, fearful of not wanting to feel things, fearful of old trauma that we have that we want to mask, fearful of admitting it to someone else because we don't know what people will think. Who cares? I don't care what anyone thinks, because that's where I've come to a place of, if you would have seen me 2 years ago, yes, maybe I was on a path long enough to say, okay, I'm not afraid to admit to someone that I had a problem, but I wouldn't have done it when I was in the middle of my problem. I know that for sure. Now I don't care. I don't care if everyone in the world knew, because who cares? Anytime some kind of fear comes, I start to sit with it for a while and I understand that it doesn't mean anything. It just means it's a lesson that I'm trying to get through. And once I conquer that lesson, it's over. Fear is not real. It feels real, but it isn't real. Look at all the times you've been fearful of something. Let's just think of how much we future trip. We think of let's just say you're going to a business meeting, or a meeting with a friend that you haven't seen, or a meeting with a family member you're nervous about. You think of 50 different scenarios that could go. You think of the good, the bad, the ugly, the negative, whatever it may be. And it's nothing like you thought it was going to be. And you're like, why did I just waste all that energy on something that wasn't even real, that I'm future tripping on, that doesn't matter? It's what a lot of us do, especially in addiction, is we're fearful of the unknown. The unknown is where you grow. The unknown is where you find more of yourself. The unknown is where you find more love for others. The unknown is where you conquer your addiction, because the unknown, because addiction is the known. You know what's going to happen if you take that pill or if you drink that alcohol. You know exactly what's going to happen. You're going to have a shitty time. That's what's going to happen. You're going to feel good for 15, 20 minutes, half hour, 2 hours, whatever, with the drinking and drugs. And then you're going to feel like shit and have to do it all over again. That's the known. Get out of the known. Go to the unknown for a while. Force yourself to do it. Because when you start forcing yourself to go into that unknown area, that's where God comes in and goes, hey, or your higher power, call God, whatever you want, comes in and goes, hey, I'm here, ready to help. And when you start exploring the unknown more, you start finding out so much about yourself. One, you will find out more about your inner child, your inner workings that you need to go through. Two, you will start understanding that things are placed in your life. I don't care who you are, everyone has this lesson to learn, that things are placed in your life so that you learn from things, so that you spiritually and emotionally and physically, all these things, so you grow. Because that's what a lot of addiction is. And that's why it's a blessing to get through addiction and be on the other side. That I have grown. I have grown. If I could hand you what I have, if I could just give you the feeling of the other side of addiction, of how great I feel, how tremendous my days are, how amazing the community that I'm a part of now. All these things are happening for me, not to me, for me, because God is saying, you have grown so much. I am ready to give you more. I am ready for you to explore more of yourself, to get more into I am so uncomfortable being comfortable now. It's so wild. The other day I was laying in my bed and I'm like, this is weird. I feel weird not speaking at a meeting or going to a meeting or helping another person or doing something for my health or eating bad. Like I just like everything that I do, that when it used to be all revolved around drinking. I would go to work, I would go to the gym, and I would get drunk. Those were three things that I did nonstop. That was all I did. And I was so used to what that felt like. I went through so much suffering and pain on my own that I was forced to get out of my zone. I had to, or I was going to die. There were so many times in my life that I look back that I could have died, that I know God put me here to show others how much you can change and how great life can be. Because I will tell you, life has significantly improved and it is the best. I am so grateful for my life because I put myself into unknown, uncomfortable territories. I have just become a version of myself that I knew existed. It's always been there, but I never wanted to strive for anything. It was pulling me all the time. Come on, Josh. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do this. And now I know that all the struggle I've been through for the last 2 years was to put me right in front of you right now as you watch this, right at the meetings that I go to, right at the jails that I go speak in, because I wouldn't have put myself there ever. I would have been watching Netflix right now. I might have been watching How to Heal Your Gut because I was overweight and walked like a lowercase R. My back hurt so bad. My buddy sent me a video the other day of me walking hunched over, so hurt, so smoking a cigarette, so hungover, so hungover from the night before, barely could walk. Such pain and anguish because I didn't want to put in the effort to get over my addiction. And now that I have, I'm very grateful. And what I will say is, when you start to do things better for yourself, hold on one second. When you start to do things better for yourself, you will start to shine a light towards others that will just attract the right things to you at all times. And what I will say about that journey that I've taken was very, very slow. You do not have to rush yourself. And I'm going to give you my example. I'm not going to go through my whole story, but I'll just give you an example. It started when I didn't want to go one night to a trivia night and do cocaine and drink. I decided to walk. Then I started to do the sauna. Then I started to connect more spiritually, where I started to microdose on mushrooms. That worked for me. It helped me rewire my brain. It helped me look at reality in a different way. It helped me heal some of the trauma that I had gone through with my divorce and with me losing my home and with me drinking all the time and doing cocaine by myself and not knowing what my purpose was. And it was a process of removing me from that area, then got me into my own energy in my own apartment, then got me into the health area, then it got me into spirituality, then it got me into meditation, then it got me into yoga, then it got me into going to meetings, then it got me into speaking. Now it got me on a podcast. Now it's got me doing all these things because my energy is lifted. My energy has immensely improved since I decided to do better for myself and others. You are here. It is a grateful journey that you have. We all have our own journey. And if you're watching this, I'm a part of your journey because I am telling you for a fact, if you just make yourself a little uncomfortable and you do some things you don't want to do, you will start to notice you start feeling better. Just start something, whatever it is, whatever's pulling you. If it's art, draw today. If or paint, if it's music, go on your keyboard and write, or write some music down, or listen to some music. If it's wanting to get healthy, go sit in the sauna for a while. You will not think about any alcohol or drugs. You will think about how hot. If it's wanting to learn a new language, start. It doesn't matter what it is. When you start, you put yourself in uncomfortable situations and you start to grow more. That's what this whole earth school experience is to grow, spiritually grow, emotionally grow. There were things I would have never felt before. I masked them all emotionally. Now I know I don't care about crying. If I cry, it's just I cry. It's what I'm feeling. If I'm happy, I feel the happiness. I know it won't last forever, but I'm happy and I'm aware that I'm happy. I say that to myself out loud. I am aware that I am happy because it will not last. It is not for a forever thing. When I'm sad, I try and catch myself. Hold on. I have my mantra. Everything is working out to my highest good. Everything is working out to my highest good. Everything until I break that pattern of thought that is negative. So when you find yourself in situations where you are uncomfortable, embrace it because then you're just comfortable being uncomfortable and you don't care. There is no more uncomfortable, really. And what I will say, how that helps and relates to addiction therapy, is that it pulls you out of that old comfortable pattern of doing drugs and alcohol, because that is the key. Getting your mindset changed. We are program and pattern people when it comes to addiction. You need to reprogram yourself. It is a deep, deep seated reprogramming that's needed. But when you start a journey, you will notice that things are starting to happen for you. I know for a fact if you went down, like I said in the beginning of this, and wrote down some things in your journal about how things have come across your life, you go, huh, guess that wasn't a coincidence. That was a lesson I had to learn. And there are a lot of them. The other day, I had one where when I used to get bored in finance, I would have my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I would get bored and I didn't know what to do with myself. So if I wasn't watching TV or doing drugs or drinking or yeah, or doing drugs at my apartment, I would get in this habit of I have to go drink. I'm bored. So it happened to me the other day, and that was a test for me. I was by myself. I had nothing to do. So I'm like, boredom feeling. Why? So I'm like, no, none of that. You sit on the beach. You understand what this feels like, why you feel it, and we're going to get through this. 3 hours. 3 hours on the beach. I was listening to the Lord of the Rings soundtrack. About an hour and a half in, I had this overwhelming presence come over me that was like, hey, I'm not bored. I am in Florida, sitting on the beach where I would be. And this was on a Tuesday. I'm like, I would be at work at an 8 hour shift, miserable right now. What am I bored from? My life is amazing. I'm about to go to a meeting and go share and go help some more people. I'm about to go and do the sauna and I'm going to be on the beach for another hour and a half and go have a great meal. What am I bored about? And that feeling went away. Yeah, I wish I could hand it to you to go, hey, you don't have to feel these things. You're just avoiding them for now because you are uncomfortable feeling it. When you sit with it and you feel it, you will start to conquer your addiction one step at a time. It's like the Jordan Sparks song. It takes one step at a time. There's no need to rush. And I'm getting goosebumps. I'm saying it because that's been my song for a while. Of like, stop trying to rush. I'm bringing you to the where God's going. I'm bringing you to the right places. You just need to follow my lead. That I've learned. I had to learn the hard way. That the healthier I got, the better I did for myself and others. The more I follow my intuition, the more God goes, you are just always going to be in the right place at the right time. And here comes all these things for you because you are allowing me to work through you. I am allowing God, my higher power, to work through me. And I am here for a reason, and it is to share the amazing, amazing strength addicts and alcoholics have for living life when they decide to change their life for the better. We have a strength that no one else has. You cannot give alcoholism and addiction to a regular person and expect them to survive. They will not. You have, I have, and now I'm on a track to continue moving forward because I have found my passion. I have found my love for myself. I have found love for others by conquering the addiction, number one, conquering uncomfortability, number two, and conquering the unknown, number three. That is the only thing that, if you want to call it a struggle, that I still struggle with is completely surrendering, which I have done. And I know that as I sit here talking to you and I talk out loud, I know I conquered that. It's just, it's a repeating pattern that was there for a while that I just got to keep sitting with it. It'll go away. But I am in a surrender mode. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm down for it because I know that God's got my back. When has God ever let me down? Oh, quick answer, immediately. I heard this great saying the other day in AA, at one of the meetings that I was in, was they said, God, if any of the questions that you have, any question you have here, the answer is God. So let God work through you. Ask for help. It's listening to everything you say. You may not think so, and that's okay. I didn't believe in God. I didn't believe in anything. I believed our consciousness was something, but I didn't believe in God. Definitely didn't. Not religious, so don't. But no, little spiritual, I guess. I thought there was something, but I didn't know. I didn't believe in anything. I know for a fact, since I've met my creator, and I met my creator in front of me, I had the presence come over me specifically and saw what this all looks like and how to feel everything. It was momentary, but I felt it and I know I saw it. And because of that, I am forever grateful. And it has kept me on this path because I know I'm on a path of helping others. That is my favorite part about this, is that I can give this to you for free. I don't need anything. I have everything I've ever needed. A new beautiful woman came into my life where I was by myself for 4 years because I had to sit with the feeling of, what is rejection? Why did I go through divorce? Am I worthy of love? Am I deserving of more? And all these things. Of course I am. Of course you are. We're all deserving. We're all worthy. We are God's children. We are here to live for each other, to learn from each other, to grow with each other, to be in each other's lives. Yes, you may not be the most social, outgoing person, but that's okay. You don't have to be. You are you. You are the way God made you. When you get more in tune with that, you become the version of you that you're supposed to be. And if you see my podcast episodes, go back and look at last year and a half ago. I thought I was supposed to be doing podcast episodes about finance. What? Of course not, buddy. You're not supposed to do that. That's the most, you got out of that because you hated it. Of course you did. It wasn't for you. You're meant to help others get over their addiction, get through fear. Fear is not real. Fear is not real. Please listen to me. You may be fearful right now. Write some stuff you're fearful down. Look at it for real. And you'll notice, even if you don't clear all of it right away, you'll notice, like, why am I afraid of anything? I'm alive. So why am I fearful? For no reason. There's no reason to be fearful. The other thing is, overcoming obstacles is part of addiction as well. And when you're overcoming obstacles, they're going to be put your way on purpose. That's one thing I will say to you, is you are not going to be given well, I can't say for everyone. I'm not on your journey, but I will say for me and most people that I've seen in recovery, you do not get an obstacle-free recovery process, because you are supposed to learn things to go through it so that you don't go back. There is no reason to go back. You'll understand when you get to a certain place where it's like, why was I ever doing that? This life is so much better. And what you'll start to notice is, each lesson that you learn, it passes you by quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. And then you start flying through lessons like, oh, I'm the teacher. I'm still learning lessons. I'm not saying I'm not, but I went from this lesson plan, increased my level. Now I'm the teacher because I know how to teach how to get over addiction. I know how to get through addiction. I know how to feel through addiction. I know how to struggle through addiction. I know how to do all these things that I can give my information away for free to others because I want to. I have to. It's part of my life now. So as you look back, do that for yourself as well. Write down in a journal things that have happened to you and then the lessons you've learned from them. Because when you start writing the lessons down, you'll start to get through them quicker the next time it comes up because it will be fed to you again. You're going to continue to get these lessons until you learn them. That's why addiction is like a pattern of lessons of like, you done? Are you done? Are you done? Are you done? And you're like, no, 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 no. I have 13 years of lessons still that I had to learn. It took forever, but I am through that lesson and I will never go back. The other part about those lessons is you cannot learn them without going through them. So don't judge yourself. Don't resent something you went through. Don't be angry about it. And if you feel, you feel, that's okay. But you'll start to get to a place where you don't have any of those judgments anymore. I don't judge myself for things. I don't resent other people, what they have or what I don't have. I have everything I need. I'm not angry. I'm not sad. I'm not depressed, where I was all those things for such a long time that I'm just not. You don't have to be either. Trust me, Ma. I just wish that I could relate to you any with any more energy that you can do this too. You can feel amazing too. I was just getting out of the shower from the beach in a meeting going, this is what I wish I could give everyone now on the whole planet. I don't even mean just addicts and alcoholics. I mean, everyone. If you could feel as good as I feel, I wish I could just give it to you so you know that it's, if I can do it, someone who was so into their way of thinking. I thought I knew everything. I thought I was smarter than everyone. I thought I knew the best way to do things. I thought I knew how to skate by in life because I did for all these years. But the reason I did is because God let me do it so I could find out that you don't know anything, George. You are about to learn some things about yourself and about the spiritual world and about addiction that will transform you forever. And it has. I can never go back. And I'm grateful for that. So learn the lessons, watch how they pass by quicker. All right. So we got the conquering your addiction and conquering fears. We got overcoming obstacles and learning the lessons quicker. And we talked about this already, but I want to reiterate it because it's a lesson that that all of us need to continue to do, including myself. I'm not perfect with it, but make yourself uncomfortable. Go up to a stranger and say hi. Be nice to the person at the register. Go to and volunteer somewhere. Go clean up some trash on the beach. Do something. Go to the gym if you've been laying around on the couch forever. Do things to make you uncomfortable because people fall into your life and kind of help you get along your path or your journey of what your soul is looking to do in this lifetime. I have noticed, and I can't explain all the scenarios because it's impossible. But if you could see over the last 6 months since I left everything behind in Philadelphia and moved to Florida, I went from being homeless to working at Instacart to working at a rehab to speaking at meetings to doing a podcast to healing eczema, asthma, acne, all these things that I had that were lifelong illnesses. I healed them. I've done all these things because I let loose of the old version and I had to go through some struggle. If I would have just been given things out of the gate from God, I know for a fact that God has told me already through my meditations, you would have quit. You wouldn't have went through it. You would have laid on the couch. But because I was uncomfortable doing a lot of these things, now I'm here. And what I will say is for the comfort zone, whatever that means to you, just start something. Just start something. I don't care what it is, whatever is calling you. You have a gift, you have potential that even if you can't see it and I can't see you through this screen, I know for a fact you have potential in something that you know you do too. You just have some sort of fear or anxiety or something you won't admit. And that's okay. I'm not telling you to do everything today. It needs to be a process. That's exactly what this is about. It is a continual growth process. I am not at the end of my growth. I know that, but I am so much further along than I ever thought I would be. And my higher power has forced me to do some things. Like, as an example, I was gifted the idea to fast the other day. I fasted for 3 days. Afterward, usually I would just munch on all these things, pizza, ice cream. Instead, I had sauerkraut, apples, bananas, some almonds, coconut water. Felt amazing. Helped heal my skin a little more. Helped heal my body more. And then I went to this business meeting for one of the groups I'm a part of, and I'm going to start speaking in jails and prisons. And I wouldn't have done all that unless I was guided. Let's not say forced, because you're never forced. You have a choice. But I was guided to do that. I saw these signs in my life. I've become more aware that signs are everywhere because the addiction is gone. So my brain works better. The microdosing of the mushrooms helped rewire my brain to see things a little more clear. I don't have anxiety and stress like I used to have. I'm not angry at anyone. So I'm able to perceive the world different. That's another gift that alcoholics and addicts have. You are spiritually gifted. You have been given this, even though it may not seem like it right now. I know it probably doesn't. It wouldn't have to me, but it is a gift. It is a gift. You have a strength. You have a beauty to it once you get through it to see all the lessons you've learned through your life. And then you go, damn, that was for me specifically. God said, Josh, here's your lesson plan. You're going to take one step at a time. You're going to struggle. You're going to grow. You're going to struggle. You're going to grow. You're going to hit walls. You're going to grow. You're going to struggle. You're going to grow. You're going to get comfortable for a minute. You're going to get uncomfortable. Then you're going to get comfortable in that new uncomfortable. And then you're going to get uncomfortable again. It is a forever circle. And the advantage of getting uncomfortable is you look forward to the next uncomfortable. Like for me, what is it? I don't know yet. I know it's coming. And one of these episodes, I'm going to go, hey, remember on the one episode we talked and we talked about how I knew something was coming and it did? It will come because I know for a fact that I know that's what I'm being led to. So, in this, what I really want to say to everyone, because I truly love the fact that I am a part of a community now that I never had before. I'm meeting new people that I never knew. I'm living in a new area that I'm forever grateful for. Just start something today. I don't care what it is, because if you show your higher power that you want to do something new, it will give you something new to try and get you to bring you forward, to try and show you a new energy. Because that's what I've talked about all of these episodes, no matter how far it goes. Energy doesn't lie to you. You know when you're doing something fun, or you know when you're doing your passion, even if it's for no one but you. You have an energy to you that's like, damn, that felt good. And this, you can see from this smile, this feels good. This feels good because it is me. I am a speaker. I love to help. I love to guide. I love to teach. I am not here to preach to you anything. I'm here to show that it is possible. If it happened for me, it will happen for you. And what I can say again is just start something. So, as you go through your own process, I would really like to start hearing from you guys. I'd love to start hearing some of your journeys. I'd like to start hearing some of your stories, because that's what really helps us all along. Share your stories with others. Find others in your community you want to share stories with, because that's really what our life is. When you look at it, we're storytellers. We're story livers. That's what I'm trying to be in my life now. I'm trying to be the Daniel Day-Lewis actor of this tale. I'm trying to be the best actor I can be for the movie of Josh's life. And as I continue to show up as the best actor, yes, I'm not going to show up perfect every day, but I'm perfect exactly that day for trying the best I absolutely can, because I can tell you this for a fact. I have never seen anyone try as hard as they can at something and really give it their all, try as hard as they can and fail. You may fail in areas. I failed in starting 4 different businesses that had nothing to do with this. I failed starting a clothing type business or selling online. I failed at starting a life coaching business online. I failed at starting a finance thing because I tried to get back into that because I thought that was my bread and butter, which it was. Failed at that. So I failed at 3 businesses. And what I know is I don't care, because I didn't try my best. That's fair. I did not. And they didn't work out. because that's not where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be right here in front of you. And the more you continue to explore yourself, the more you'll understand what's meant for you. Your failures lead to your success. Failure is a great teacher. It hurts at first. Now I don't care if I fail because I'm so used to it from the past. I know this is going to, but because I tried too hard. But that failure in the past has led me to this point. And it took me a lot of failure to learn. Come on, buddy. Same thing with addiction. It took me a bunch of relapses. It is okay. It is part of the process. Don't let anyone ever tell you because you relapse, you are now this, or you need to judge yourself. No, that part of the story is ridiculous. You do not have to judge yourself. You may have a year of sobriety and mess up. Fine. All right. Yes, you didn't want to do it. That's okay. It's one day. You learn so many lessons from that year. Just start again. You don't need to go back and go through. Yes, it's good to look back and see things, and you learn new things from looking back. But you don't need to think you're starting from day one again because you're not. You're still the new version of you. You just messed up once. It's part of the relapse process. I relapsed 550 times. I don't even care. I don't know. I just made up a number. And it was forever. It was relapse after relapse after relapse after relapse. But I didn't go to any rehabs or anything. My higher power came to me one night when I was by myself in an apartment and showed me I was going to go down a 6-month healing process by myself. And I wasn't going to go to rehab. I was going to learn it by myself. Then I started to learn more about myself and what my tendencies were, what my patterns were. And those are things I had to write down. I will say I'm not a big journaler anymore. I try sometimes as much as I can, but journal some of your ideas down because you'll start to notice you have a way of thinking and a way of being. You need to change that if you want to get out of your addiction phase. Don't judge yourself for relapse. The first thing my higher power told me literally was like, it might have been the first or whatever, but I heard it. I felt it. It said, do not judge yourself. I do not judge you. You should not judge you. Didn't say you have to not judge yourself because God gives you a choice. But do not judge yourself. Watch some of the ease come over you where you go, all right, I messed up. It's part of life. I get it. I'll keep going because the non-judgmental area of the brain will start to come into play more and more as you do other things in your life. I don't judge myself if I don't make every perfect decision at every perfect time because I'm not going to. I don't judge myself if I don't eat exactly what I'm supposed to. I don't judge myself if I fell apart while I was doing while I was at work for a minute. That I don't judge anyone. I don't judge others. I don't judge myself because when you do that, it's really you're just hurting yourself. Nobody else knows you're judging. Nobody cares you're judging. They really don't. You're just doing it to yourself. So stop judging yourself. Understand relapse is part of the process. And what I'm going to talk about next time is the relapse process. I want to talk more about how that worked for me, how it works for others, because what will start to happen for you is as we're going to go down this journey together, because forever, who's ever watching this, I want you to know I want to be on a journey with you. I want to hear your stories. I want to understand your stories. I want maybe even some of you to come on the podcast. But I want to start understanding more about others so that I can even understand more about myself. Because although I'm in tune with myself more than I've ever been, and I am aware of so much more about this reality than I've ever been, I always have something to learn. I get so much out of active listening. I understand God is speaking through other people to me, through them to me. That's why I'm speaking through me to you. It's coming from upstairs down to you. And I'm channeling these things while I'm being passionate. I haven't planned any of this. That's why I know I meant to do this. I go through these phases of a channeling phase, you can call it, or a passion phase where the energy is just flowing. I don't plan any of this because I know it's what I meant to do. It is my passion. I love doing it. So let's start sharing some stories together. Let's be more of a community here. There is no hiding. You don't have to be worried. It's a judgment-free zone. Anybody that starts judging gets taken out of the group because that's not what we're here for. We're here to help each other. We're here to love. We're here to be kind to one another. And what I do know is this: The more you share with me, the more I can gain access to myself, which I'm appreciative of. So thank you. But also the more I can help others because I learn more about others. I want to continue to share with you my story. One of these episodes, I'm going to share my full story just so you can see all the different times where God said, nope, that's it. Nope, you're done. Nope, lesson. And you will see that these things come into your life for a reason. The other part too is the last thing I wanted to share with you all. I am really, really grateful that you watch these episodes. I ask you to share them because again, I am not doing this for me. Yes, I love to do it, but this is so I can start helping others on a wider basis. So share this video, like this video. Let's get this out there. Let's start helping people understand that. I know this sounds so weird, but addiction recovery can also be fun. It seems like it's all pain and struggle, which there is a lot, but it can also be fun. Let's make it easier on each other. Let's make it easier on the community. Let's become one and shed this shit for good. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate everyone. And I'll talk to you next episode.